Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting of June 10, 2019. Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Here.
Consul Magno.
Here.
Dixon.
Here.
Gibbons.
Here.
Hannon.
Present.
Harrison.
Present.
McLean.
Here.
Murray.
Here.
O'Brien.
Okay, at this time, could we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Outside.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That never happened under the other manager. Okay, I'd like to turn to chair announcements. Executive session of council was conducted on Monday, May 20th, 2019 for personnel and legal matters. And an executive session of council was conducted tonight, June 10th, 2019 on personnel matters. And that is all. At this time, I'd like to turn to the reports of the official and the library director's report.
Good evening. My name is Christine. I'm the director of Your Public Library, where we provide opportunities to explore, learn, create, and connect. It's June, so summer learning is underway. This year's theme is a universe of stories in conjunction with the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. So for birth through sixth grade, you can pick up your summer learning booklet and earn badges to enter for a chance to win one of our end of summer raffles. One of the activities that you could earn a badge for is to check out a cookbook and make a recipe and bring it in to feed the librarians, because we always want to eat. Today, two young women, one I think was young girls, I should say. One was going into kindergarten, one's in preschool. They made us bruschetta, which was quite lovely, with fresh basil from their garden. So, for teens, for each book that they read, they receive a scratch-off raffle ticket. They can scratch that off. If they're an instant winner, they may win earbuds, gift cards, or other surprises. Non-winners are entered into an end-of-summer raffle for a $100 Amazon gift card, with it being a science-themed summer learning this year. We have a lot of STEM-related classes that are free and fun, particularly for those in elementary ages. We also have some fun classes. We have black light bingo, so get out your neon. And we have that for kids and then also for teens. And we also have a program called Are You Smarter Than a Bethel Park Librarian? So that should be fun. Adult summer reading is in full swing as well. You can sign up at the library for every book that you read or listen to, including ebooks. You can complete an entry form. We have a weekly drawing for a $25 gift card, and then all entries received before July 29th will be eligible for a grand prize drawing, which is a Fitbit Alta. And in the summer, we have new movie release Tuesdays for adults. This happens at 10 a.m. in the fireplace room, and we will screen that Tuesday's blockbuster DVD release. So for June 11th, we have Captain Marvel, and then on the 18th, we have the horror movie Us, which looks really scary. Just a reminder that the library is closed on Sundays during the summer, and that we will be closed on Thursday, July 4th for the Independence Day holiday. That is all.
Now, if you're looking for another game,
Yes.
Are you smarter than a member of council?
That would be really
I
great.
will nominate Mark O'Brien.
Oh, and he's not here, so, okay, I guess he's in
Mark
then.
O'Brien is in.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you very much. Can we turn to the police chief's report? Police chief and manager's report.
Only 20 more days. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Hi, everybody. O'Connor here. Just want to thank everyone who attended our Crime Watch June open house here at BPPD. We had a really good turnout. We will be adjourning for the summer, and we'll pick back up the first Monday in October over at the community center. So in the meantime, follow us on social media. If we have anything, we will be putting it out via Crime Watch email list or on social media. So with that, I want to wish everybody a safe summer. We have a special guest here tonight that we're going to honor. we have Russ Posh here. He is the head of the school crossing guards, and he has been for many years, approximately 28, 29 years. And if you don't know it, the school crossing guards fall under the police department, and I can say as a group, we rarely have hear a complaint about them, and those men and women are out there every day, no matter what the weather is, making sure the kids are crossed safely and they get on the bus safely, and they do a remarkable job, and a lot of it is due to Russ's leadership and his commitment. And they also come out on all the parades, you know, and help us blocking the streets and everything. It'd be very hard to function without them. So with that, I'm going to have Russ come up here because we're going to honor you. So I have a little information on him in case you weren't aware of this. He was born and raised in the Arlington section of Pittsburgh and graduated from South Hills High School in 1947. In the summer of 1947, he went to work for J&L Steel in their main office, first in the mailroom and then as assistant junior clerk. He attended the University of Pittsburgh from 1948 to 1952, where he received a bachelor's degree in business administration. In April of 1948, he married his wife Loretta. They have 2 children, a son in Minneapolis and a daughter in Cranberry Township. He has 2 grandchildren by his daughter, a boy and a girl. In September of 1952, he was drafted into the U.S. Army. He was in the Finance Corps at Fort Ritchie, Maryland, and in Germany. After discharge from the Army, he went to work for the accounting department of Isley's Dairy in October of 1954. In 1962, Isley sent him to their Youngstown office. In 1969, he left Isley's to be controller of Meadowbrook Dairy in Erie. In 1979, he returned to Pittsburgh, where he was self-employed, selling advertising and later table pads and window treatments. He retired in 1989, but not for long. He ain't that old. He retired in 1989, but became a crossing guard in 1990. And then he became their supervisor. And that's why he's standing here for tonight. So we have a plaque to give you also. So in recognition of outstanding excellence and honoring Sergeant Russell Posh on your retirement. So we're going to give this to you.
Okay, thank you, Chief. I mean, I have something put on my desk, you know, other than all the guard stuff.
So thank you very much, and God bless you, and thank you for all your hard work and dedication over the years. God bless you.
Hey, Chief.
I want to thank Chief O'Connor. He's one of the good ones, I'll tell you. He's helped us, but for their problem, he's first in line to help us get it solved. I worked with the guards for a long time, and I'm so damn proud of that group.
Why don't you hold the plaque towards the camera so the
always
public
tear up
can see
when I
it?
think about it. But I'll tell you, without, you know, I've seen them out there when it's freezing cold and pouring rain, and you know what? When they're putting the kids on the buses or crossing the street, they have smiles on their faces. They're glad they're there. And they're the best group of crossing guards that I know of. And by damn, when they raise their stop signs, everybody better stop. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your retirement, my friend. Enjoy your retirement. You can leave. Yeah, you don't have to stay. You guys can go.
People that get awards have to stay until the very end.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Hey, we actually went to the same high school. Used to go to South Hills High School for summer school because I failed algebra and English. Who does that? So, any questions? Any questions? We're
No,
good?
hearing none.
We're good.
We
Okay.
turn to the fire chief's report, unless you have the manager's report.
The only thing I will say, it was honor serving you guys for about 5 months as manager. I thought it would only be maybe about 60 days, but we got through it, and thank you guys. Are a fine community of people, and it was an honor serving you. Thank you, and God bless.
All right, hello, I'm Eva Parker. I am one of the captains at the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company, and I'm here to give our chief's report. In the month of May, we had 47 calls, 5 structure fires, 1 vehicle entrapment, 2 vehicle fluid cleanups, 1 elevator rescue, 6 odor investigations, 1 assist to police, 1 assist to medics, 2 wires down, 4 good intent calls, 19 fire alarms, and 5 carbon monoxide calls for a total of 47 calls. And our fire prevention tip of the month is grilling tips. Stay alert when grilling. Do not grill if you're sleepy or drinking alcohol. Don't leave your grill or cooking areas unattended. And keep children and pets at least 3 feet away from the grill area, and remove flammable objects from around the grill. That's all I have.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. At this time, we'll turn to the mayor's report.
Good evening. I have just a couple things, and then the people that left on time, because tonight is the State of the Municipality address, so they knew when to leave. First, I'd like to introduce Mr. Dan Duff. Mr. Duff is from the Community Foundation, and he has a presentation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and staff and everyone. I'm Dan Duff. I'm with the Bethel Park Community Foundation, and if I've watched Council before, I'm here always to hand out checks. The Community Foundation is celebrating its 25th year of being giving out money to the community. In fact, I did a quick math. You may be interested. In the past 4 years, we have been able to give $213,575,000 back to the community.
Nice.
And we'd like to continue on that transition for the next 25 years or more. Just a quick note coming up. Get this right here. Starting in early July, running through August, we have the Dean Strader Concert Series. If you have a free Sunday afternoon, we have the Community Band South, the Vintage Brass Band, the Mon Valley Community Band, the Allegheny Brass Band, my favorite, the Keystone Barbershop Chorus, and the Pittsburgh Banjo Club. So that's at the Community Center at about 2 o'clock. We'll have information and posters up shortly. But I'd like to now bring up Bill Holden, the Vice President of the Foundation, and Bob McCullough from the Friends of the Montour Trail. Bob is also a special guest. Not only is he representing the Montour Trails, but he is a World War II veteran. So I thought with D-Day, we're very excited to have him represent the trails. Come on over here. Yes, sir.
Mayor, how you doing?
So we were approached by the Friends of the Montour Trail several months ago, and up near where the trail crosses Clifton Road, there are some access ramps that go from Highfield and from the Washington School area. And originally those were gravel, and every time it rains, you know what happens in Bethel Park, the water runs and the sidewalk would wash away. So the Montour Trail folks thought it would be a great idea to pave it, but we did want to have more water coming down, so they did some stormwater management with the municipality, and we have some beautiful new paved trails to get up to there. One of the nice features is we also found out, and with the help of Ellis Paving, that we actually did some additional improvements that anyone who is handicapped can park at Washington School and get access to the trail, or any student from the school can now have access to the trail where they couldn't before. So tonight, Bill Holden and myself are happy to present Bob here a check for $10,700 for improvements to the ramps on the Highfield and Washington School area. Thank you very much.
By the way, my name is Bob O'Connor.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thanks for the correction.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to thank you, Dan Duff and the Bethel Park Community Foundation for this generous help on the trail, the ramps. Actually, I'm standing in for Mike Pusey, who actually is one of our members who managed this project from its inception to its completion, and did all the work. But Mike is away now, and he gives his regrets that he cannot be here. And we also want to thank Bethel Park engineer John Quincy. Appreciate it. The people who use the trail appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And thank you for your service, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that kind of segues right into my next award here. Whereas Mr. O'Connor is a World War II veteran, the Community Foundation is 25 years old. This is the 100th year of the American Legion. So there's a few members here from the Legion, so if you come up here, I have a proclamation for you. Gentlemen, here's a proclamation, 2019 Bethel Park American Legion Centennial Day. To designate June 10th, 2019, American Legion Centennial Day. Whereas the American Legion has been a staunch advocate for veterans and their families since 1919, and whereas the American Legion was founded on the 4 pillars of care for veterans, a strong national defense, Americanism, and children and youth, and whereas the American Legion has played a leading role in initiatives and breakthroughs that have affected the lives of Americans in every community. And whereas Post 760 has fulfilled the Legion's mission since 1945 through programs such as American Legion Auxiliary, Legion Riders, Sons of the Legion, and the South Hills Honor Guard. Therefore, I, Mayor Jack Allen, as mayor of the municipality of Bethel Park, do hereby proclaim June 10th, 2019 as American Legion Centennial Day. And I encourage the community to observe this day with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. So.
Thank you very much. I accept this on behalf of our commander, Jack Allen.
Yeah, me too.
I confirm.
Thank you very much.
That wasn't planned. I wouldn't have done that. So, okay, thanks. So now I'm going to do the state of the municipality. Mr. President and Council, it's my honor and privilege to provide the annual state of the municipality as required by our Home Rule Charter. I'd like to begin by recognizing and commending the Council, municipal staff, the Police Department, the volunteer fire department, and the EMS team for all their hard work and the dedication to this community. I must also mention how appreciative Bethel Park is for all those men and women who serve on our various boards and committees, and the authorities for the hundreds of folks who volunteered their time for the dozens of activities that go on here in the municipality. For the most part, their pay is just our gratitude and a good feeling that they get serving others. I'm pleased to report that again this year, the auditing firm of Maurer Duzel has completed the 2018 municipal audit and reported that we noted no matters involving internal control and its operations that we consider to be reportable conditions under the established standards by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. The financial department, like all other departments, continually seek ways to be more efficient and readily accept the advice and recommendations of the auditor on matters that are beneficial to the people in Bethel Park. So we thank you, Joe, and your staff for another outstanding year. Our financial situation is sound. The municipal millage at 2.74, and that includes the fire department at 0.34, is among the very lowest in Allegheny County. Our three bordering neighbors, South Park Township is at 3.06, Mount Lebanon 4.71, and Upper St. Clair 3.83. So last year in the report, I mentioned some significant developments and redevelopments within the community. So I'm pleased to report that this is an ongoing process. So since last June, we've seen the following. The Cool Springs Carriage Homes up by Cool Springs, 20 out of the 23 units have been issued final certificates of occupancy, and 3 units have been issued building permits. Bethel Park Senior Housing, which is the former YMCA property on the intersection of McMurray Road and Limestone, is now 90% complete. The Willow Terrace plan of lots off of 88, 23 houses have final certificates and the building permits have been issued for 2 other lots. There are no vacant lots remaining there. All the additions, the development was approved for a 4,500 square foot addition in the front of the existing grocery store, and that actually is nearing completion. Projects that I mentioned last year were the Guardian Self-Storage, number 1 and 2, and they are both taking on occupants at this point. Bethel Park Shopping Center redevelopment, that's the one up by Walmart and John Eagle. That development is no longer being pursued by the owners. The Bethel Park Animal Clinic opened this year. The building was issued a temporary certificate and is currently in business. There are 3 other projects that the board or the planning and zoning are looking at right now. That's the American Natural Development. That's at Cool Springs. That's coming before the board. South Hills Village redevelopment. They're building a swimming pool up there also. That's in the process. And one that's just beginning is called Bethel Pines, and that's a housing development off of Bethel Church Road. A rededication was held last month at Simmons Park for the improvements made there. This included new playground equipment, a zip line, new bathrooms, as well as upgrades to the fields. We have also purchased the land on the other side of the creek to be used for trails in the future. Bethel Park has also entered an agreement with the Allegheny Land Trust to purchase the 40 acres off of Valley Drive at the intersection of Route 88 and Connor Road. That land will remain green space with possibility of walking trails in the future. So I believe that as a council and a staff, we must continue to have a vision that Bethel Park will always be looking to the future, and it's our responsibility to walk that delicate line between development and protecting our residents and our neighbors. So, Mr. President, it's my observation and my opinion that the state of the municipality is strong in all areas. I think that it continues to go forward, and we are positioned to adequately meet our immediate and future challenges. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Any other discussion?
At this time, why don't we tell the public about the meeting that's going to be held relative to the Gutman property?
Okay, yes. As the mayor mentioned, did you want, or I can do it? The Allegheny Land Trust, we've entered into an agreement with them to acquire the Gutman property off of Valley and Route 88 across from Connor Road. There's going to be a public meeting held here in council chambers on June 25th, 2019, beginning at 6:30. What that'll be is the Allegheny Land Trust will be hosting it. It'll talk about the acquisition. There is a funding gap. There's going to be fundraising needed. There's going to be grants that we're going to need to get to secure this property. They have till the end of 2019 to raise these funds. If they're successful, the property will be deeded to the Allegheny Land Trust. And I'll just make a personal comment. One of the reasons why we chose the trust are two reasons. One is they're familiar with doing this. They have the wherewithal and the knowledge to do it. And number two is this, if acquired by them, it'll make this property vacant forever. Not that this council or future councils would ever change that, but if it goes into the land trust, we're secure for forever virtually. That's in their bylaws that they cannot sell the property. So meeting from the Allegheny Land Trust, June 25th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. in council chambers at the Bethel Park Municipal Building.
And if I may mention, part of the proposed budget to pay for this project is an amount that hopefully will get contributions for the public to help this get developed. And I'd appreciate it if you folks would come to the meetings. You'll have a chance to ask any questions you want to, and then consider whether you want to make a contribution so the development can go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, can we turn to the approval of the minutes? And Mr. Hannon.
First, the only item is the regular council meeting on May 13th. I move that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of May 13th, 2019.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of May 13th, 2019. Any discussion of this item? Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell. Yes. Consul Magna.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Myrie.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Motion passes 8-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to the approval of the bills and payrolls.
I move that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality for bill list number 061019 for $1,045,994.90.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 061019 for $1,045,994.90. Any discussion of this item? Manager O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magna.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Myrie.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Motion passes 8-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to the resident comment section for no non-agenda items.
Rich Baller, 1119 Logan Road. Talking about the flooding again, and after hearing everything, I mean, we're just a little over a week away from the anniversary of last year's flood. And hearing what the mayor had to say about all the projects and all the things going on here, I really wish the council and municipality would take the flooding that's been going on here in Bethel for 50 years a little more serious and make it more of a priority to get fixed. I mean, you guys spend a lot of money on a lot of projects, and that project seems to fall through the cracks all the time. With all that out there, you know, if you want to help the residents, I mean, 450 homes were flooded last year. 450 homes. I guess those residents don't matter. You know, I just wish you would get your priorities on the flooding more than all the other recreation and all this stuff that goes on. Those are, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens that you tend to ignore. I know there's some projects underway, but, it's been almost a year since this last flood. Like I said, it's been going on a long time. And for you guys not to sit down and do a comprehensive, long-term plan to fix this flooding throughout the municipality. I mean, there was even some jokes made tonight about it. It's sad. It's disappointing. There's people that suffer with this every day. Every time it rains, they lose sleep. You name it. They can't leave their homes because if the power goes out, their homes will flood because the things they have in place to help stop that flooding will fail. So I really wish this council, the municipality, the borough, everybody would take the flooding in this municipality seriously and raise the priority of it with these other programs you guys are talking about. I think that would help a lot of residents here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, any other resident comments? Hearing none, can we turn to general policy and finance and Mr. McLean? And we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. First item on the agenda under General Policy and Finance is ordinance number 6-10-19A, amendment to Home Rule Charter. I move that we approve ordinance 6-10-19A to initiate a referendum to amend the Home Rule Charter to remove the provisions requiring the municipal planner and the municipal financial officer to become residents of the municipality of Bethel Park within 1 year of employment.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve ordinance number 6-10-19A to initiate a referendum to amend the Home Rule Charter to remove provisions requiring the municipal planner and the municipal financial officer to become residents of the municipality of Bethel Park within 1 year of employment. Would you like to give an overview, Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Mr. President. So the thinking behind this, so folks have the context for it, is under the Home Rule Charter, as it was originally adopted, there are 4 positions which consist of department heads that include a requirement that the holder of that position either live in Bethel Park or agree to move into Bethel Park within 1 year. Those are the municipal manager, the chief of police, the municipal planner, and the municipal financial officer. And what experience of late has shown us is that with respect to 2 of those positions, the planner and the financial officer, the candidates that we get for those positions when there are openings, while they are often wonderful, like Mr. Valella, who we ended up hiring and who lives in Bethel, we get fewer candidates. They tend to be specialized positions, and we've realized that in today's day and age, when you have 2 people in the home who are working, people are just not as mobile and as able to move. So it's become a bit of a requirement that is limiting the candidates that we get for the positions. So the recommendation that's coming from council is that as to those 2 positions, not the manager or the chief, but as to the municipal planner and the financial officer, we revised the charter so that those folks are not required to move into the municipality within 1 year. We're always hopeful that they will, and once they get to meet council, I'm sure they'll want to live in Bethel Park. But for purposes of the Home Rule Charter, this would appear on the ballot in November. If it's adopted tonight, it'll go through the process at the county, and then the electorate would have to vote on it. If they do, then that requirement would be removed for those 2 positions.
Thank you. Just to follow up on that, these are the only 2 positions. We have 4 positions that are mandated in the charter, as Mr. McLean said. We have negotiated with our unions. We have requirements, so this is completely separate. This only impacts 2 positions. We also have other management positions that we do by policy, required to live in Bethel Park, and we've waived that policy on some of them as we go out and try to source new candidates. But this question is just for these 2 positions. Any other comments? Mr. Harrison.
I want to congratulate council in putting this on the agenda in a timely manner so it's consistent with the law. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell. Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
Second agenda item is ordinance number 6-10-19B, Penvest General Obligation Note. I move that we approve ordinance 6-10-19B, increasing the indebtedness of the municipality by the issue of a general obligation note with Penvest for $1,367,000 for the construction of 3 stormwater management projects serving areas downstream of Oak Tree Park, Logan Road Ponds, and Birch Tree Park.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve ordinance number 6-10-19B, increasing the indebtedness of the municipality by the issue of general obligation note with Penvest for $1,367,000 for construction of 3 stormwater management projects servicing areas downstream of Oak Tree Park, Logan Road Ponds, and Birch Tree Park. Two comments here. I will be abstaining from this vote. I serve on the Penvest Board of Directors, so I believe this would be a conflict of interest. I also, just for the record, abstained from the vote by the Penvest Board when they discussed our application. The second part of this is really the start of expanding the flooding or the stormwater management program we have in the municipality. Last fall, we asked our staff, we challenged them to look at areas where we can have an impact, where we can implement programs, not only to help with the stormwater management, but more importantly, our MS4, getting the sediment out of the ponds or out of our streams, which we're required to. They came back to a list of probably 8 to 10 to 12 items. They put together their own criteria. This council had no involvement in any of the selection process. We're following the recommendations from staff. And this is our 2019 projects. We applied for the Penvest loan late 2018. We're currently working on 3 projects for 2020. We'll be passing an application process sometime this summer for consideration of Penvest sometime this fall. I believe it's their September or October meeting. So we have been working, I don't want to say behind the scenes, but our staff has been working diligently. One of the challenges we have with getting these loans is you have to have all your permits and everything completed before you can actually apply for the loan. So it's a little longer up front. These projects are currently bidding out. This number may change based on the amount of money that, how the bids come back. It may go up or down. If it's above or below, we would have to go back to Penvest Board and ask them for the adjustment based on what the total 3 projects are going to cost. So having said that, any additional items? Hearing none, Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury abstains. O'Brien.
Motion passes 7-0 with 1 abstention. Mr. McLean.
There are no further agenda items under General Policy and Finance.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Planning and Zoning and Mr. Dixon? And we have no residents signed up to speak.
Mr. President, we have no items under planning and zoning.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Health, Safety, and Welfare and Mr. Consul Magno?
Mr. Mayor, we have one item. I move that we approve the Police Department organizational chart per memorandum dated May 16, 2019.
Second.
There's a motion and second. We approve the Police Department organizational chart per memorandum dated May 16, 2019. That's just assigning the dispatchers going from the lieutenants. They'll be reporting to the sergeant in charge of each shift. Am I correct, sir?
And the patrol lieutenant.
And the patrol lieutenant, I'm sorry. Okay, any discussion on this item? Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consul Magno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Consul Magno.
There's no other items, but I just wanted to mention over the weekend I was had the opportunity to bike on the Montour Trail that I'd done in recent years, and
just wanted to thank the volunteers that just do an exceptional job in taking care of that trail. It's a gem that we have in Bethel Park, and for all the kids to use, and older adults like myself enjoy it, and thank the Montour Trail Committee for doing such a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Consolmagno. Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we turn to Public Works and Maintenance and Ms. Gibbons?
Resolution number R6-10-19A, DCED Flood Mitigation Grant. I move that we approve resolution number R6-10-19A to apply for a DCED Commonwealth Financing Authority grant for the Oak Tree Park Stormwater Project.
Second. There's a motion, a second, that we approve resolution number R6-10-19A to apply for a DCED Commonwealth Financing Authority grant for Oak Tree Park stormwater projects. This will supplement, if we're able to get the DCED grant, we will borrow less on the Penvest loan. Any discussion of this item? Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Motion passes 8-0. Ms. Gibbons.
Resolution number R6-10-19B, Alcosan Grow Grant. I move that we approve resolution number R6-10-19B, permitting the municipality of Bethel Park to submit a grant to Alcosan Grow Grant for work previously completed in the McLaughlin Run South watershed.
Second. There's a motion, a second. We approve resolution number R6-10-19B, permitting the municipality of Bethel Park to submit a grant to Alcosan Grow Grant for work previously completed in the McLaughlin Run watershed. McLaughlin Run South watershed. Any discussion of this item? Chief O'Connor, would you please call the roll?
Campbell.
Yes.
Consolmagno.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Hannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Maury.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Motion passes 8-0. Ms. Gibbons.
There are no additional items under Public Works and Maintenance.
Do we have any additional items?
I do, Mr. President.
Mr. Dixon.
I just wanted to, with regard to the ordinance to amend the Home Rule Charter, I just wanted to commend our Philadelphia lawyer for advising us to put that on the agenda tonight. So,
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Is there any other items?
Mr. Maury,
Dr. Campbell.
last month we had the rededication ceremony of Simmons Park, and it was a great event. It was a great event. We had representatives from the local, county, our state, as well as federal representatives there, and it was very well attended. There we announced, as Chief mentioned, and as that we have a lot of projects that are planned in Bethel Park, a lot of projects that will really enhance the quality of our community. One of these projects is the Live Well Allegheny Initiative. It's actually a county initiative, but it's also our version of that, our flavor of that is Live Well Pennsylvania, or Live Well Bethel Park. And again, it's a partnership with the county to do what we can to enhance the health, not only the mental health, but the physical health of our residents. It's going to be like a multi-pronged approach. It's going to look at a lot of different aspects. You heard the mayor talk about the Allegheny Land Trust and the capabilities of making that conservatory, that 40 acres in South Hills. That's almost unheard of to be able to preserve for all time and eternity as green space. That's beautiful. That's wonderful to see that happen. But dovetailing into this also is expanding the parks. You've heard previously, we almost doubled the size of Simmons Park by picking up 25 more acres in it. And we have future plans for there as far as expanding a lot of rail trails, expanding trails within the park, developing connectors to our parks, and developing new trails in themselves. We'd like to augment our sidewalk program a little bit more, develop walking maps for Bethel Park. And you could see a lot of this is basically what we could do to enhance the well-being of our residents in all aspects, mentally as well as physically. Part of that is we're going to start a speaker series. It's going to be with community partners, folks who are subject matter experts in their fields, community hospitals, local gyms, local individuals who like to go ahead and speak and talk and give us some information, evidence-based information, good evidence to what we could do to help our citizens, and things that could be workable items, things that could be put into play. I'll be giving an inaugural talk on that on the obesity epidemic, and with the little things that could be done, evidence-based things that could be done specifically for weight loss. For those of you who haven't known me long, 4 years ago I was 100 pounds heavier. I'm not real proud of that aspect. As a doc, it didn't look real good, I could assure you. But I've been able to lose a fair amount of weight over the last 4 years, and I've done it healthy, in a healthy manner, diet and exercising properly. But there's a lot of so many cool things that are being taking place, and some of the other things we're going to talk about in this education program: exercise, mental health, depression, anxiety, talk about smoking and alcohol cessation, the opioid crisis. And it is a crisis. Every single one of us will be touched at one time or another with just the onslaught of what opioids can do to us. So I'd just like to share a few of my ninja skills and as a doc and being able to speak in the near future. But again, this is going to be a great forum in which we can invite some really great talent, really great individuals to come into our community and to speak and to talk to us. And the nice thing about this, it costs us nothing. Nothing. Doesn't add anything. And it dovetails nicely into the Bethel Park blueprint. It actually goes hand in glove into it as well with a lot of our long-term plans. So look for the upcoming Bethel Park Chronicles, the next edition. We'll be seeing some of the things that we'll be doing with Live Well Bethel Park on that.
Thank you very much. I just have two things to mention. Number one, I just wanted to give a shout out to Allegheny County. For those of you who've driven down Fort Couch Road, speaking of sidewalks, they have been in not very good shape. We have been working with the county for some time, and I really want to give special thanks to our county councilperson, Sue Means, who really stepped up and shepherded the project through to make sure we get the sidewalks repaired. As I came down there today, Allegheny County Public Works Department was repairing or replacing the sidewalks, and they were much needed. So I'd just like to thank our county councilperson, Sue Means. And last but not least, I would like to thank Chief O'Connor for stepping up. I kind of enjoy him sitting up here, and he now laughs at my jokes once in a while. I don't. No, but we really do appreciate everything you've done in stepping up, and I know we thought it would be a shorter process and maybe turned out to be longer than anticipated, but without hesitation, when we discussed this with the chief, he said yes, he would do it. And I just want to let him know on behalf of myself, council, and the community, we really appreciate your commitment, not just to the police department, but to the municipal staff and the community. So thank you. And you're welcome to sit up here anytime you want.
I'll take it under consideration.
On that note, is there a motion to adjourn? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.